I swear, if you're an OG who remembers playing Floowandereeze for all those seasons ago in Master Duel and you don't smash that like button as the first thing you did before you heard me say this and watch this video, unsubscribe from my channel right now and never watch one of my videos again. Yes, March 2024 has introduced the Duelist Cup and we have gone back to Floowandereeze. Surprisingly, despite all of the indirect nerfs from the ban list when I was away, the deck doesn't seem to be that bad, especially when you go first and you open something like Dimensional Fissure, considering that Snake Eyes, a graveyard heavy deck, is the most popular deck in the format. You know how we do if you've watched my videos before. We are attempting to play around potential interruptions. The Dimensional Fissure shuts down the Droll and Lockbird, the Effect Veiler, and Maxi. Not that we care about Maxi actually, but if we do get ashed, we were going to be able to play around it by using Advent to get Map to hand, which is what you see us do here. We grab Toucan with the Robina that we use Goldstark to get, which we used to chain block the Eaglin in order to make sure we didn't get ashed on the important search of the Empin there. And now with Map, because the opponent didn't have any interruptions that I had to dodge, like the Imperm, and I didn't need to play around an Ash in and of itself, I'm going to be able to activate Map, summon the Toucan by revealing it with Map, and get back the banished card in the Unexplored Winds. This gets me every single power spell in rotation, and Dimensional Fissure, you could say, is an honorary Floowandereeze card right now. The opponent here is going to special summon the Diabellstar because under Fissure, they can still send spell or traps. They cannot send monsters because they wouldn't go to graveyard, they'd go for banished, because the cost of summoning the Diabellstar this way is to send it to the graveyard. They normal summon Poplar, which is going to allow them to get the field spell if they want, but something tells me they might go for Subversion, and this will trigger my Magnificent Map. Now you may have noticed something. When the opponent special summoned the Diabellstar, they did not set a spell or trap, and that is because they special summoned in attack mode. Does anybody remember what Empin does? It negates the special summon monsters in attack mode. So yes, you can attack with this, but if you wanted to set the spell and trap, you would want to summon this in defense mode. The activation of the map here is actually significant because we were able to cycle through for the Unexplored Winds. Our setup is going to be able to wipe their field, which will get banished thanks to the Dimensional Fissure, because not only will we be able to search most likely for I forgot the name. What is it? Oh, Apex Avion, that's right. The Omni Negate, which will negate this card that they just brought to hand. And so it's nice that we are able to see what they wanted to search first, but I think even if they searched Field Spell, we would search for the Apex Avion regardless. So we chain block the Eaglin with the Robina, we get the Apex, and we're going to be able to banish that Poplar under the Unexplored Winds here. The opponent attempts to activate Subversion to push my Empin into the back row, and we are going to negate that with the Avion. If they go battle phase, we will let them happily attack into our Toucan, which will make it get banished. We're down to 6,500 life points. In main phase 2, they attempt to go end phase, and at this point, I will happily go ahead and activate my trap card, Dreaming Town, which will allow me to normal summon the Robina, chain block it to get back the Eaglin, search for a bird, which, yeah, I'll maybe explain this tech in another video. Again, you guys got to smash that like button for me to go over this stuff. But when the Robina is summoned, we are going to be able to, once again, use Advent of Adventure, or Unexplored Winds. I forgot all the names, guys. You got to cut me some slack here. And tribute over this Diabellstar, which will get banished, so therefore the opponent will not get the effect to bring it back. I don't even know if they could, right, because it's their turn anyways. But what's really important that I didn't mention here is all of my summoning here, if you've been paying attention, is actually under 5 summons, right? In turn 1, I ended with the Toucan, which was summon number 4, and on my opponent's turn here, I'm going to end on 4 summons as well. And Eaglin into Apex, into Robina, into Apex, that's 4 summons as well. So we have played around every single possible hand trap, accounting for literally all of them in the format right now. So Floowandereeze may not seem like the worst choice in the end. Once my opponent kind of recognizes that they're going to get OTK'd, they're going to end up scooping it up here. And they don't even let us see what we're going to reveal off the now limited to 1 duality. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Are you interested in more Floowandereeze gameplay, or is it time to move on to Labyrinth? Maybe we'll look at a Labyrinth game. I don't know. Let's see. So we don't just want to be showing matches against Snake Eyes, do we? I think that would get kind of boring. But hey, the game is being kind of nice to me because this is the second coin flip that I won. And we're going to start off with the normal summon of the Ariana and search for the Stoby Torby because we have the new transaction rollback, which we're going to be able to pitch in order to set a big welcome. And we were fairly safe against an Ash since we had the call by, but it would turn off the Ash during our turn. But a Imperm would have stopped us pretty heavily here. The opponent starts off with a Immortal of Thunder, which is very interesting. So clearly they're on that Kashtira Auroraton combo stuff. When they attempt to go battle phase to beat over the Ariana, we're going to activate the Big Welcome to get the Lovely on field and bounce back the Ariana. This will trigger the Stovey Torby and the Lovely in order to pop the set card, which was a Macrocosmos. And that's actually a great card to get out of rotation there for the opponent. They are going to opt to crash their stuff, likely to open up their field for a Kashtira play. Not sure why they wouldn't just go for this in the beginning, but we now are going to be able to stop that with an Ash Blossom. So Unicorn will not be searching for a Birth or a Theosis. It will trigger the Unicorn to rip a card from my extra deck, but since we're Labyrinth, you know, we don't care about Maxi, we don't care about the extra deck. So all these effects that would normally be pretty detrimental to other decks, that's why like Labyrinth and Floowandereeze isn't really that bad against us. The opponent ends up going into a Shangri-Ira after getting the Kashtira Rise Heart effect, and we lose a Dimensional Barrier, which actually sucks because that's the one of, and that would stop Xyz's monsters. We lose a Stovey Torby, which is fine since we have one in rotation as well. This is semi-limited now, and we lose a Nibiru, no consequence there. Now, I do make a critical misplay here because I, again, forgot how things work sometimes. We do have a Nibiru, the opponent is on 5 summons. We have transaction rollback in the graveyard, and this is an important interaction if you guys want to play Labyrinth that you want to pay attention to. If you have this set up with a Big Welcome, even though I use the Big Welcome effect this turn, I can banish the transaction rollback from my graveyard as a quick effect, pay half my life points here, and then copy the effect of Big Welcome. So this means, now that the opponent is on 5 summons, before they go end phase, because clearly they're setting up to bring out a Fenrir on my standby phase, I can trigger the Nibiru, or, you know, just trigger the trap first and then Nibiru after. But I can trigger the transaction rollback, bring out something to field, like let's say a Chandelier or something, or even an Ariana since I haven't used the effect during my opponent's turn yet, and bounce back my Lovely to hand. I can then use the Stovey Torby effect, get it off field along with the Ariana to set like a field spell or set a normal welcome or even a big welcome if I wanted to. Lovely will be back in my hand. I wouldn't trigger any effects necessarily, but I would clear off these 2 monsters on board, put something else that I don't mind losing on board like another Ariana, which I will get the search for, or a Chandelier, which will get me the second furniture piece in rotation for Labyrinth. Then I can Nibiru the field away and put something in defense mode that I think would have either 3000 defense, or if I bring out the Chandelier would have 1500 attack. They end with a Nibiru token, 1 card in hand, and I have a Nibiru and perfect follow-up for next turn. Yes, this will be in my hand, but I can still special summon it from the hand with the Big Welcome and continue to play from there. The opponent apparently has another Mecha Phantom Beast in their hand. So yeah, I unfortunately waited because I think the opponent was taking some time, and I just right-clicked when it said that they were going to proceed to end phase. And then I was like, ah, shoot, well, I missed that timing. So huge misplay on my part, but it's still of minimal consequence because Labyrinth plays so well into the meta. We're going to activate the Stovey Torby. It doesn't matter if you chain it to the transaction rollback, but we're going to be able to set Big Welcome again off of the Stovey Torby and then use Big Welcome's effect to bring out Ariana back from the graveyard that we just discarded and trigger the effect and bounce Lady back to hand. We're going to go ahead and grab a Labyrinth. In hindsight, this was a misplay. Again, another misplay going back when you look at your footage, because there's no reason not to grab the Chandelier here. Chandelier, pitch the Lovely, then I have both furnitures in rotation, and I could still set the Labyrinth to field anyways. Why would I search the field spell here when I could search the furniture? Because I'd be able to get Lovely back from the graveyard with the Big Welcome anyway. So you can see how many misplays I'm making, but it's fine. We're going to draw a card, which is another Ariana, which is really great. During the standby, they trigger the Shangri-Ira to bring out the Fenrir, and unfortunately I cannot activate my Ariana effect because then Fenrir would banish a card face down. So instead we're going to activate field spell here and then activate Big Welcome, which will pop the Fenrir with a non-monster effect to prevent it from basically doing anything. Unfortunately, so you can see that, like, yeah, it's really bad. Special summoning the Lovely from hand instead of graveyard, not having the extra furniture piece in rotation, but that's fine because we're still in a very commanding position. With the Lovely being able to trigger here and the Stovey Torby, we're going to be able to clean things up quite nicely. No sense in popping the Shangri-Ira since it can protect itself, so we're going to go ahead and pop the Mecha Phantom Beast. Since the opponent has no extension, and I know the game is pretty much over, I'm going to go ahead and activate some spell cards to rack up those stats in order to get the gems for the challenges in the Duelist Cup. Banish a card, activate a spell card, nice there. And with the Stovey Torby and the Lovely on field, we're going to activate Lovely effect to reset the Big Welcome, and then go into that all-powerful Chaos Angel. Now that we have the Big Welcome on field, we can recycle back the Lovely in the graveyard once again by summoning the Ariana on a normal summon, and yeah, next turn, I mean, or I can, well, I already used Big Welcome this turn, but I could search for a Coup Clock if I didn't activate the Big Welcome yet and then do it all over again. But you can just see the recyclability of Labyrinth. It might be the most environmentally friendly deck in there, in Master Duel, that is. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video, guys. If you enjoyed these 2 Master Duel clips, let me know. If you are a Disney Lorcana player and you somehow made it to the end of this video, let me know if you're interested in playing this game, because I would be willing to help you. Leave a comment in the comment section below. If you've made it this far and you actually get this message, I have something that can help you out if you did want to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It's a fun game. It can be kind of toxic and chaotic at times, but that's part of the fun, I guess. Don't take it too seriously and you'll like it, trust me. It'll make you a better player too, because this game requires a lot of critical thinking. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Thank you again for watching this video. If you made it this far, Quantum is out.